Hey everybody, welcome to another video. Today we are going to talk while I prepare a face mask for sewing. My mother, before she passed away, she had literal tons of fabric because this is what she liked to do. She liked fabric. So she would collect and collect and collect and collect, and we had rooms and buckets and bins and everything filled. So when she passed away, I donated a ton of her fabric, but what I did was I kept some of it, and I'm kind of glad now because now I have the ability to make some masks for myself, my family, my friends, anybody that kind of like needs one. I got plenty of it. So the first thing you do is you cut an 8x15 piece, so 8x15 piece of fabric. Then what you're going to do after you cut your 8x15 piece is you're going to fold it so it's wrong, so the right side's meeting the right side, so you should look at the wrong side of the fabric, okay? So what you're going to do then is you're going to take this side of your fabric, which you can tell I didn't cut even. I'll have to fix that before I sew. And you are going to sew all the way here on the edge, about 1 inch in. I'm using my mom's sewing machine from the 90s, and it is a Husqvarna, and it is fancy pants. So you have to like select your stitch and all this other stuff, and I'm just used to the old Singer I grew up on, which is from the 60s or early 70s, and you just kind of went with it. This thing's fancy, so I don't always do 1 inch because I'm trying to figure out what the machine wants you to do, and if you don't, that's okay. So you're going to stop about 3 inches down, and then you're going to measure up about 3 inches, and then so that creates a gap here. So sew down till about 3 inches, and then sew up to about 3 inches and stop. That creates a gap, okay? Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take this, we folded it over, and we are going to sew a seam, but we're going to stop 3 inches up and 3 inches down to make a pocket. So you want about 1 inch seam. All right, and then I stop there. Find the right scissors because that helps. And I do the same thing on this side. Okay, good. I do the same thing on this side, 3 inches down. I just want to mention to everybody that I am not a professional sewer. You may not. You may have guessed otherwise, but you would be wrong. All right. My mom sewed all the time, and she did teach me when I was younger. However, if you don't use it, you'll lose it type of thing. So I lost it. All right. So then you've got your little sewed thing. So what you're going to do is you're going to take this seam and you're going to make that the middle of your doohickey. Boop, boop. Now at this point it really helps if you do the right thing and you press the seam, but okay, so the next thing you're going to need to do is you're going to need to make the straps. So unless you have elastic. So here's the story. I have elastic. Now, the problem with this elastic is that it is from the 80s. Let's be fair, it's probably from the 90s. But, I mean, it still stretches. So you're torn. Now, I can cut this in the center and use this as straps, but honest to God, it's really hard to cut. So I kind of don't want to do that. So what I can do is cut strips. So I'm going to cut strips about 14 inches, and then I'm going to sew them together, and I need to make 4 of them. And I'll be right back with that. Okay, so if you know anything about me, if you've ever met me or you've watched my videos, you may know that sometimes I start projects and then I get really impatient with them. So I have 4 strips and I went to iron them and make them nice. And then I just get impatient with the iron and how long it takes to heat up. And then I forgot that I had to steam on, and then my strips got a little wet. So that was kind of annoying, but I have my strips. So they're about 14 inches long. And what you're gonna do is just sew up the best you can a center seam to make them just one piece. And then you'll be ready to put them actually into your mask. And let's see how that goes real quick. Like I said, I don't sew straight. And this machine is super fancy, and it's got like some sort of like, really, I could find a user manual, but I haven't done it yet. I've had this machine 5 years now. So let's sew straps. You kind of need a mask if you're showing homes right now, because you have to sign all sorts of waivers and things to go into people's homes right now. So you kind of need that. You gotta have it in order to let people in. So I'm gonna sew. Whoa, see, impatience. I'm going to finish up these straps, and then I will come and get you for the next step. Be right back. Okay, so I cut my strips and I have sewed them together to make one big strip. They're each about 14 inches long, or they should be about 14 inches long. Now, some of them are wider than the others, and some of them didn't sew together exactly the way I wanted them to, because again, patience. And also, I don't sew all the time. So, but the functionality is the most important thing in this, so that's what we're doing. So then you're gonna take your, with holes in it, your little mask part with holes in it. Remember, this little spot here is the one that goes against your nose. And there's also this little entryway so that if you wanted to put a paper mask in there, you could shove it in. So that's what that's for. Then you're going to take a strap and you're gonna tuck them inside your thing here. Tuck them inside. And what you're gonna do is tuck all 4 of them inside on the corners. Is you're gonna sew about 1 inch. You're gonna make a pocket. So you're gonna take these and then you're gonna sew about 1 inch and make a pocket. And I'll show you what that looks like here in a minute. Okay, just a reminder that I'm not a great sewer. So I didn't turn the edges and make them nice and neat because this is my backup mask and I'm just like, who's gonna be staring at it? Now, I know people will probably say, you should have, but you know what? Yeah, I should have. I didn't on this one, okay? So then you're gonna turn it inside out, or right side out, I should say, so that you can see your pretty design for your mask. Tuck in your straps so you can pull them out. If they want to cooperate, that is. Sometimes they don't want to. Okay. Then you realize you made a mistake. And then you realize you made a mistake because you did the wrong sewing on one side. So as you can see, I failed. But I can correct it later, which I may or may not. I just may start all over. But I accidentally sewed the wrong side. so that there's no openings for my mask, my strap components to come out. See, like right there, I accidentally sewed a line down here. I guess I can take and seam rip it out if I really want to, but for the purposes of this video, I can't believe I did that. That was so dumb. Such a rookie mistake. By the way, I've made several of these successfully. This is the first time I've done this. So it's kind of funny, especially for a video. But at any rate, don't do what I did. Pretend, let's just pretend. Pretend that everything's cool and your straps are the same and it doesn't look like a big old octopus coming out of the ocean. Anyway, the last step is for you to pleat and sew together like this. So pleat it like 1 inch, 3/4 inches, whatever you want to do. It would have looked great. I promise you, had I not sewn that one piece wrong, because I'm a dork. And kids were coming in and interrupting me, and that's been my life since COVID started. So I'll fix this later. I'll fix it off camera. It's all good. It'll be really cool, I promise. I've made these before and they look really good, and I used them at the store. I promise they're okay. I know what I'm doing. I just screwed something up. So at any rate, that's a bunch of failure, but it's kind of funny. And anyway, please stay safe and well. And if you have any questions or anything or need anything, please let me know. Like and subscribe to my videos, and we'll catch you on the next one. Bye.